Kevin, Train Traveler, what's up? Yeah, so like I said in the title of this stream, I'm going to be working on more of my photos and videos. I'm sorry if it doesn't appeal to y'all. Y'all don't have to watch them if it doesn't appeal to you, but it gives me something to do. Really, it's the only other thing I have to motivate me on as far as to continue going. Also, I can now say I have visited North Georgia Tech's campus up in Clarksville. And I'm absolutely blown away by what I've been seeing. It is fantastic. You can see after, like, just, like, these photos here, the dates were, less than a month later. These were the last photos I was able to get of the house when it was still semi-intact as far as its walls were concerned. These, from here down, are the photos I got of the house afterwards. This is of a home that's of a similar... I mean, this is a house that's in downtown Lexington. It's built similarly to the Hogan house, but there's quite a few differences. Obvious ones being that it doesn't have bathrooms along the sides, and the kitchen, I think, is right in here. And the similar designed window, door frame that has the windows on the sides and top is on the bottom part of the house instead of being on both floors here. You've got the upper balcony here, but the upper one does not have this design. But, yeah. I only took that to show a comparison of what that house could have been like had it been saved. Due to all of this here, them coming in with heavy machinery, that's what leads me to believe that they're going to probably come in and just tear down what's left of this due to how unstable it's become. So, yeah, it's only a matter of time before this is all gone. And it's probably not just going to be the house either. They may tear down, say, all the other outbuildings along with it. Who knows? Hey, Dave, how you doing? But, yeah, the project I was wanting to do was getting all of the photos I've taken, every last photo I've taken, and every last video I've taken of the home. There's like at least 5 cinematic film folders here with at least 100 different clips. And then there's at least 3 different folders concerning all of my photography of the house, which is from 2019 to now. This was when it was still semi-intact. You still had the chimney when I took these pictures.
So, real. The movie, it's called Promare.
Now this here, Hogan House Inside, don't be fooled out of the house. They're all taken by numerous different people over the years, over the span of 10 to 15 years. I'm just the most recent photographer to get out there and photograph the house. But this is a sort of chronology of the house. The video thing was something Nick, the Dominator, made. But you can see, this is back when the house still looked decent. Probably around 2008 and 9. And basically, as you can see, there was no general damage. The home could have, at this point in time, there was still a chance for the home to be saved, but nobody took it. Because if you watch, you can see how it just gets progressively worse over time. And also take note of the roof. That's 10 to 15 years in the span of just a few photos, instead just 10 photos. It would technically be closer to 12 now, because there's hundreds of different photos here that I've gathered thanks to Nick Bennett, who is another person who is interested in this house. He was able to get these pictures showing the home in its last glory years. Like, for instance, there's the stairway, and if I have a video I filmed of this house. I didn't go inside. I didn't go up to it after it collapsed, but this stairwell is still intact somewhat. It's destroyed. It's completely destroyed, but it is intact. But the stairs are just rotted to hell and back, so there's no real way to do it. Now, this was, I think, the final photo taken just before this whole part of the wall collapsed, because all of this now is crushed. because this part of the house, this top portion with the balcony, that fell first. Then the bottom half of the wall, of that part of the wall, failed. So the only part that's still standing is this section right here. That's all that's still standing from the original house. Now, as you can see, there's a few photos from people who were daring enough to venture inside. In fact, that there is where the owner tried to say, quote unquote, save the house. That was where he put a tarp over a huge hole in the roof. Didn't work too well. You can see how the staircase is just destroyed. That's where the floor was, where those joists are. That's where the floors were. That's the home in its absolute prime, sometime in the 30s or 40s. That was taken when the roof started failing, hence the sagging you see there in the center, right there. That's the back of the house. You can see how the roof has failed. Now take note, this back wall here has since completely collapsed from there to about there. That section is what has since fallen. The only part that's still standing somewhat is that, but it may fall back too. It fell back onto this kitchen portion. That was salvaged because that was gone when I started photographing the house. Those were, I think, taken or stolen one. Old attic, you can see the roof there has already got holes in it. This is the part I'm talking about. That was the front wall there. That's since collapsed completely. What's left of the stairs? It's a model he made.
Rail, you need to listen to the song.
Well, don't play it now. I'm streaming.
No. I sent it to you.
Thank you.
Good.
Bit of crown molding he was able to save. I actually have a nail that I got from the house. It's one that was on one of the boards that had already fallen. This is it right here. So I've got a little piece of the house. One of the things that held it together for so long. Proved that apparently square nails might actually be better than the round ones. They kept this damn thing together for 170 years. You can see that's just after, probably shortly after the top half of the home fell. And you can see how the bottom part fell shortly after it. That part there, I think, the only reason I think that part is still standing is because of this tree right here. That's all that's keeping that up. If they were to cut that tree down, I bet you that's going to be all it would take for it to fall. It's been interesting being able to document it as it's collapsed, so I'm glad I got the brief chance to do so from 2019 to now. That's a year and a half. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what to do with these pictures, because I don't know, because, you know, Jesse got to where Jesse was just simply too busy. Okay, now I think that was the final picture because that would have probably, because that probably meant was like that up until the last major storm we had, and that was then all it took to cause that to collapse. But I'm off topic. Anyway. The only photos I was needing to get were these. I also need to go back to the project file because I've got a photo, one of my final photos that I was able to take of the house. Yeah, this was, I think, one of the last photos I took of the home. That side shot was something to show just how far the front had bowed out.
Well, you gonna watch Premiere?
Not right now. Dude, I can't. Oh,
The same people who made BNA, so.
no, that's. But yeah, as you can
It
tell.
makes absolutely no sense.
Anyway, as I was saying. So I've got the first photo there. And then the recent photos here. And then I've got the video there. But first, I've got to get these 3 photos edited, like color corrected and such. These were 2 photos I took when I did a quick stop in Farmington because while I was driving, I got to where I was fatigued and I just had no choice. I had to stop because I'd been driving for almost like 5 hours. So I think that was on the day I ended up going to Toccoa. That was on the 15th, so just 2 days ago. So that was on the same day we were in Toccoa. This was on the way back. This was on the final day of me driving. That was in Clarksville at a restaurant called the Copper Pot, which is fantastic. I recommend going to it. Food is great. Also, going towards the Frantic for a quick minute, I've got a photo that could be used as, I guess you could say, for inspiration. It was at a local bank, but it could be considered what could be done for what the crew lounge could look like. Not exact, but it's just an idea. Think of something like that, but a bit bigger and size-wise. That's for the spike here that I got recovered in Crawford. I want to contact their Chamber of Commerce in the old train depot there. I wanted to ask them, hey, I found this along the old right-of-way. Could y'all display it? Better than me having to just simply get rid of it. And the reason I'm saying that is because from what I can tell, the trains had already stopped running by the time the 70s came. So 1970, 1971. And then the tracks were pulled up, I guess, 10, 15 years later in 1983 or 4, after they were sure they wouldn't need them again. So the fact I was even able to find a railroad spike and cross pretty remarkable. I didn't think they'd do that. I mean, Tallulah Falls Railroad, that's a whole different story. That railroad's been gone since 1961. It was abandoned. It was abandoned.
Epic music.
What's happening? gone so far. We need to turn a bit. To watch this sinking really closely. Every time I'm here during the sinking, I don't make it onto the back in time, and then it's just not good.
Man, I'm trying to get this thing to straight the window to look like it's straight. There's no easy way to do it because I photographed it at an angle. I'll forget it. There's no real way to do it. Besides, I was only going for the stained glass. See?
I spent my day today watching a really bad Titanic movie. It was 3 hours long though.
3 hours?
Yeah. It was 1996, year before James Cameron, and I'm gonna admit, there's a lot of stuff I can see in that movie that.
To be fair, though, keep in mind. Well, to be fair, I'll bet you they could have done a lot. I mean, it was made on a limited budget, and the thing is.
It definitely was.
Well, I mean, the other thing is because I think the reason that one failed is simply due to this. Cameron's film was literally right around the corner. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's not only that, literally, they couldn't even afford someone to play Thomas Andrews. So, the captain gave the order, he was like, oh, this boat has 2 hours. And I was like, since when has he given the orders?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like A Night to Remember, where, Well, I mean, it's also like, A Night to Remember, where Captain Smith was giving orders. Which, of course, I understand that, British and all.
Yeah, as well, there wasn't a Thomas Andrews in that film, full stop.
Actually, if you're talking about A Night to Remember, Thomas Andrews was in it. Or at least there was someone playing him.
I can't remember what the film was called. Let me have a look. Let me just.
SOS Titanic.
I had to watch it in 2 parts though. I mean, the green screening was awful.
Oh God! Wait, is this that horrid film, the Titanic 2, which we don't discuss? I feel like that's what it is. I feel like that's exactly what that film is you're talking about. Oh my God. I actually had the nerve to watch it. It was terrible.
Let me just find. What was this?
Welcome to the Scrubs.
You're live. I didn't even notice.
You didn't know I was live. There's a first, everybody.
It's just the movie's called Titanic 1996. Full movie. Look up that.
Oof. Also, you can tell by the way, you can tell they filmed that on the Queen Mary. I mean, the funnels are a dead giveaway. Same with the bridge.
Yes. Funnels? Question mark.
It's like, funnels? What are funnels?
Oh, you mean the Queen Mary? Yeah.
No, god damn it, no! I fell off the...
Kevin, Train Traveler, commenter, Mr. Minecraft, George Procrop, AT Trains, Parker Brown, Phantom SW, E2S2, commenter, what's up? The fuck?
Oh my god.
It's fine, it's just a meme. It's a meme.
Randall, please cue the music. You know what you can't do your stream when you're gonna get copyright claim.
When you realize, Elwood, you motorhead. The fuck? Oh, by the way, guys, check this out.
What are we checking out?
Gainesville Midland 209. I've seen this engine. I ended up seeing this thing when I was like 5 years old, because when I was younger, at that age, I used to go to church up here in Gainesville, and one day we stopped so I could see this. I'm glad to see it's well kept. It's basically in the same. It's kept at the same display quality as those two locomotives up in North Platte, 480 and 3977.
I have no idea what any. So I'm gonna be honest.
Union Pacific. Just look them up. Union Pacific 3977, Union Pacific number 480.
This just sounds so mathematical. It's like 1, 2,000, 0, 3 million, and 2, and I'm like, how do you remember this stuff?
I'm into trains. I have to remember it.
I mean, with the boats, all you have to remember is RMS, blah blah blah. And
Hang on. Wait. The builder's plates. I remember the builder's plates still. I thought the builder's plates was still there last time I was there. Jesus.
My ears, yet again.
Backable. Someone, when they get the Titanic, pretty much what it does is it, well, quite frankly, it just sinks completely level. Greetings all, we are back and welcome to...
Welcome to your meme.
that was such a good interpretation. Greetings all, we are back and welcome to...
Yeet, yote, yote, and a yeet.
Greetings all, we are back.
I probably got better photos of the caboose than I did of the engine.
Greetings all.
Okay, so now I know if I want to photograph 209 better, I have to come during the middle of the day. I know I know how to get to Gainesville. I mean, Ellen and I could probably drive up there for like a day trip. So if I could get up there at like 12 or 1, that'd be better, because every time I've photographed this engine, it has been in the freaking evening or right around sunset.
I'm going to admit, the Titanic model doesn't seem big, I'm going to admit. Model and Stormux doesn't make it feel very big, even though it's...
Oh, I forgot about this one. This might be better because the lighting's different. What's funny is when I'm standing here, you don't realize just how huge this thing is unless you're standing right up against one of its driver tires, which is that drive wheels, which are those. Like, I've walked all around this engine, and it is huge.
Split is on the split. You don't even notice the split. It's just a tiny little jar. This thing needs this.
Your face is tight. Oh.
Now, this is going to be interesting to see in black and white. Oh! Oh, yes. Choo-choo, motherfucker. No, I'm just going to stop right there.
Wait, it's a goose, not a swan, I forgot.
No, good.
Mongoose.
Ooh. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Does this give the photo a sort of older look? Does it make it look like it was an older colored photo?
Yes, it actually kind of does, actually. It looks like it was taken in, like, 1960.
This would look like straight up. If I had a film camera with flash bulbs, I could have probably photographed, I could have probably made this look like something Winston Link would have done. But that's the thing. I've never dabbled with film, like actual photo film. I've done it with digital. I've filmed with digital. I've photographed with digital. Never worked with actual cinematic, like 16 millimeter movie film or photograph film.
Does anyone want to join a server?
On Stormworks, I might in a minute or two. I've got to get this stuff done. Heck, I was so tired when I got in last night. I just went to bed. I didn't do anything else. I ended up getting in, setting my stuff down, going to bed. That's it.
Some days it just feels better to go to sleep. And, like, for some reason, whenever you're thirsty, all of a sudden, water just tastes better.
Oh, I know that feeling, and I love it. I love it so much.
It's like, oh my god, water. I love this drink.
Now, here's something interesting. This here is one of the former railroads that went through, Hull, where I film a lot of these trains, but this is the railroad that actually bought the railroad whose name is painted on the locomotive. Heck, the track this equipment is sitting on, along with the one piece back there, is the former Gainesville Midland trackage. It's all that's left of it. So, train traveler, you were right about that, how much was left, because the depot is directly, Gainesville Midland's main depot / headquarters is directly across the street from this. Like, literally, where that building is, it's on that side of the street, right there. But it's off and out of frame. Plus, I couldn't photograph it because it was closed, but still.
Where do I want to make a maiden voyage for? Actually,
The Arabic, the Minnawags.
I sorted out
Do 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 do. Ooh! Oh my God! I forgot this, guys.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a lake? I can't
That, my friend, my friends, is Tallulah Gorge.
Vagina.
Can I speak? This here is Tallulah Gorge. That down there is the Tallulah River. I photographed this at the top of at the very top of the gorge at a little building that's beside an overlook. That's when I zoomed in to get a picture of the rapids down in the bottom of the gorge. There's a dam upstream of here.
If you might want to come to this maiden voyage, it may not be a boat. It may not be a boat.
Here. This right here is at the very top of the gorge. This is literally on the ground level overlook.
Dave, it's the flying boat, and I'm about to take off. Ahead. Oh my god, what's going on? I'm scared. Oh god.
I had to. Just bricks.
Why is one brick so pale compared to them all? Like,
Oh,
this is like
Ali
little
joined the game. Ali.
Well, here's the church. Here's the church this was used in. Oops, wrong picture. That's the church with the design, and I loved it. I loved the design. Because I don't even think anybody builds brick buildings with that sort of style anymore. And besides, the church was pretty. It's like literally nestled on the side of a mountain, so why not? And also, cross.
That church looks tiny but cute. I like. Me is the light. I like it. I like it a lot.
There was something I was trying to capture with this image, because since the clouds were blocking out the sun, the only thing you could see was like those sun rays. Like, if the clouds are going over the sun just right, it produces rays of sunlight from the sky down to the ground. And I thought if there was a way to time it to get it to where the rays were being projected down, but around the cross, God, that would just be a very powerful image. And it was. It's not noticeable, but it was there. At least to me, when I saw it.
Guess who just came round?
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, my granny.
Greetings all. We are back.
Oh, there.
She's in the screen.
No.
Lucas Yates, what's up?
Fun of him. I'm just doing an impression.
Impression.
He calls himself Grandpa, but he's not. Granny's only.
Oh.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Right, nobody saw that. Now it's remove message. Message removed.
This was actually a rock wall that I photographed.
Work as well on this part, but still. May I add Scurvy 07?
Would that be a good idea? I don't think that'd be a good idea. Also, here,
Blue thing in.
Brings a whole lot of library things.
guys,
He joined and it just
Reckon-
leaked out.
recognize this?
Oh, pretty.
It's a railroad depot.
It still looks pretty. You can't change my mind about that.
I know, but you know, it's a shame because, well, the railroad here has been gone since 1961. It's the Tallulah Falls Railroad. If you've seen the 50s era film concerning the Great Locomotive Chase, that was filmed on this railroad back when it was still in existence. I don't know if this particular depot is shown. I doubt it, but it talks about it in a book I've got concerning the railroad. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think that, you know, terminus and destination thing was put in for the movie. I mean, the font looks like something, a Civil War style. Like, it looks like it was in a Civil War style. I don't know. What's funny, though, is steam ended by the time they started filming the movie. It had already ended for about a few years, and passenger service had ended until had ended in 1946. So, yeah, it's a shame, but the railroad line was just simply too expensive to keep up. Heck, the only part of the railroad that's still technically intact as far as trackage is literally in downtown Cornelia, and it's just the Southern Railway interchange, the Y, and just a few feet of single track main that goes back about 50 feet and just stops. There's nothing left after that. It's all gone. And the tracks actually came, and here's something interesting. The tracks came in beside the depot where these plants are and where 441 is, right there off to the left. In fact, the resort hotel used to be along that side too. Since 441 is 4 lanes in both sides, well, the roadbed's been completely obliterated. Like, there is nothing left. If I were to get, like, to be honest, the best bet of finding anything would probably be walking along the most remote sections of the railroad, because there were bridges still intact as late as 1971.
That's PewDiePie's name. LA Bridges.
Yeah, but where that loading platform is right there is most likely where the tracks would have run. I've been trying to figure out where the tracks would have been for years, and, well, yeah. But if the first time I was able to come up here and film, this depot was being used as an antique store. Well, now that's closed.
There's one antique store near me.
Ooh, oh my god.
I don't know where Eddie is. Okay,
Oh, and also, oh, by the way, also, Thor.
It's a Santa
Mm-hmm.
Why is Santa Claus and stuff? What's that random NPC of Santa Claus in the boat? Like, I'm confused. I feel like
Christmas who?
Claws turn a full 180 degrees. The boat is coming in. I love you, voice. Ugly, but can I do my anger home?
I found the claws, get out of my anger. I found the claws, get out of my
Can't be involved to check what he just said. Can't be involved to check what he just said. I'm Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Okay, Dave, let me just finish up. Okay, Dave, let me just finish up. Let me just
There's audio now. That was my horrid audio testing method. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Oh my god. Stuff. Because why not?
I need to do something.
Oh my god. Sorry about that. I had to clean my camera. Gainesville, Midland, Tallulah Falls, Tallulah Gorge. Oh, and the Hogan House, so that's first. By the way, most of this was filmed in the same day. Hogan House. Oh no, 15th. Let's see, the 15th. These were on. The 17th. Oh no, wait. I don't remember when I filmed these now. I think maybe yesterday? I don't know. Maybe. There we go.
I need to update my
Excuse me.
using all Steam applications. I've not seen
Ah!
Steam pumping.
Don't do that. Fuck, I'm bleeding. Person. Can you stop?
It's probably copyright, isn't it?
Hey,
Yes, it's
Bruce, How
copyrighted.
you doing?
It's the
I
smack.
haven't seen Smack a cow in like 18 centuries.
Dude,
Oh,
It's the
is
man.
that you? Is that you, Red?
yes.
Completely different.
That's probably because I'm on my PC.
Like to be me.
That's why I switched over onto the PC Discord.
Oh, you have headphones?
Yes, I do. Which is why my audio is 10 times better.
But your microphone is about 10 times worse.
Oh, shut up.
Dave, you can join. Hi. God, why every time someone joins does it bring a lag?
No, we're having 9/11. Wait, it's Metro.
I've been watching all your videos.
Oh, Smack.
Account.
Smack, I hope you know I'm live, mate.
What? Oh, you're live.
Yes,
That's epic.
Kevin's like, oh god.
Well, we can leave the stream to get scrapped.
Land forces and its flare domination on Metro.
Anything anywhere.
This is gonna be very fun, Metro.
Anything anywhere.
This is gonna be very fun, Metro.
In the replay, we stream, so not just so bad.
Ah, no.
Oh my god.
I just got absolutely sprayed.
Is it Granny? Is that Granny? Is that Granny? Please tell me that's another Granny. Granny! Granny, we have a mission. Granny, we have to undo this. Granny, what do we want to try and do today? What's our achievement?
Guys. When I first got on to the computer today, I ended up getting a ton of new ships that people have released on Stoneworks.
Oh my god!
Including
What happened?
Whoa!
You're welcome.
Well, VCR is one shot close range. One shot to the head.
On something in and we fail on something and have a go. You know what it is.
Oh, I got machine gunned.
Are you on Polybattle? What are you on?
Since you've been gone, I have
Sal's online.
started getting ready for my Titanic movie.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't believe I haven't put a scope on my scar either.
SS and Beryl. That sounds like a member of Looks interesting. I've sailed on this. Yeah, I've sailed on this. 100%.
Uh-oh, this man got shot.
Ooh.
Alright, we have all of the points. So I think that mitigates the man being shot.
Very nice. It's just a list that needs to be improved.
What is this? It's a Remington.
I'm trying to get this thing.
And I got gunned down by the same guy.
Oh my god,
By
what
the
the hell?
same gun.
Oh, there's no front of it. I've only just noticed there's no front of this ship. They've just ripped it off. I'm a good owner of a ship this thing.
Man, I should go for the AA-12. God dang it. This is a terrible lobby and I'm gonna switch.
Laggers, I swear to God. Right, I'm already on because I'm too advanced.
Oh man, what if
I'm gonna have to clean this computer again.
What about Aqua?
what if whoever made the Titanic and thing? Yeah. What if they made an advanced ship of the same scale?
Now, talking of the Titanic, JP Ships is building me a model for my movie.
I hope you know that your base. You.
Models full and the snapping is better. Then I'm making it worse. Hey, by the way, I can now blow down my microphone. Life is so much better.
Oh, we're
That's
lucky.
very epic. And also, I am on Desert Storm, so I need a sniper.
Wait a minute. What game are you on? Is this Roblox?
Phantom Forces. Ow! I got sniped. Okay, now I'm not on Phantom Forces. There's another update for Stormworks. What happened?
I think LUA.
Yeah, new Lua HTTP.
What even is that? Is that like I don't understand that. Is that like supposed to be like what? Is that supposed to be like some kind of thing?
What?
Ah, I'm gonna throw up. Oh my, no wonder that's. I don't even need to do that. Ah, I'm gonna throw
Oh,
up.
it's Oceanic. Hello.
She. Is David still doing not know?
God dang it, Dave.
What's he
Look
doing
at,
now?
look at the Discord chat.
Does he literally send a picture? No joke, he literally
Every time.
Every time I've seen him come online, I've literally heard him say, "Oh, right, I need to get a screenshot quickly."
Dave,
He takes a screenshot every single time.
It's awful.
why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Oh dear. That's alarming. Look at what's over there. Do you see it?
It's your mom.
It's a tsunami.
We're riding it with a ship with no front on it.
How are you? How does that even work? Oh, it doesn't. That's right.
So, smack it, go run. Smack it, go run.
There's nothing we can do. The tsunami's already here.
You're dead.
The least we can do is stay on the island. Which I don't know if I'm gonna do very well. Okay.
Hey, oh good.
I have secured my spot back on the island. Don't go to the dock.
Now we need to go and rescue Dave because he doesn't have a front to his ship.
Let me see here.
Now to rescue quick.
I can also, by the way, did I tell you that I made
Southeastern Pennsy Rail Fan Production. What's up?
Hey.
Oh yeah, I posted it in the Discord, but it's a triple hull design.
Oh. I've now got my little rescue boat. It's ready.
That's not very little.
Right. There's that. There's that done. There's this done.
Small liner.
So, this is an advanced server, right?
Yes.
Epic. Here I go. This thing goes, I think it's like 120 meters per second. That is very epic.
Epic gamer.
Pro gamer move.
It is epic gamer time. I can't believe how stable. Like, I tried to go a mode like this, and it didn't
Very
work.
just the other day with Epic gamer.
I tried my best and I didn't succeed.
Hey,
That's a pretty tall ship you got there.
I capsized it. Tiny good boat that will rescue him.
Man, I can't wait to get my YouTube money in August so I can get PUBG.
Wait a second. Are you earning any extra for reaching 4,000?
I don't know. I don't know about extra, but I'm definitely earning money.
Yes, we know.
Sorry, y'all. I have to do that for right now because I need all the power this computer can give. So that way this will export faster. So who's the fifth person here, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the part that I hate the most about this sort of thing. The exporting takes forever. Keep in mind, not all of I don't think these are going to be uploaded today. They might be, but I don't know. It'll just have to depend on the timing and if the internet can handle it, which I doubt. So how have y'all been? I had to close Chrome and all that, and I'll try to find a way to keep talking. I don't know. But yeah, now actually I do have something I can talk about, and that's North Georgia Tech. Ellen and I were able to go over to their campus, so I was able to see what all they got. They had a nice setup. They had a really nice photography building, and it looked brand new, like it had been built recently. Got to see one of the dorms. It's really basic, like bare bones. Just 2 beds, cinder block room, 2 beds, a window, 2 probably like particle board closets, and a sink and a desk in between. Literally bare bones. It is absolutely bare bones. But, oh well. But, yeah. Exactly. I'm not going yet. I've got to drive more before I feel comfortable, going back and forth. Like, I've driven to Clarksville. We drove to Clarksville, and I've driven around their campus. I drove around there yesterday. That was the main reason why you saw me up in Tallulah and Gainesville and all that. It's because I wanted to drive up in the mountains. And Ellen figured, well, if we're going that way, we might as well go to Clarksville and go to the campus, which we did. I mean, I'm already in love with it. With what I got, with the little bit I was able to see in their photography area, that is just truly what I want to do. Because the photographs I saw on display that some of their students had done, oh my God, I'm telling you. Let me tell you, the photography I saw on display that those students did is phenomenal. And that is the kind of photography that I want to move towards. Yes, there's maybe 1 or 2 of my photos that look similar as far as quality goes, but I'm not there yet. I'm literally a case, my photography is a case of me just using what I already have on hand, making do with what I've got. I don't have Photoshop. I just have the photos thing that most of these laptops have already. Heck, I don't even know if, the Acer could handle Adobe Photoshop. And considering Flash is being disabled, well, what are they going to do about that, huh? Yes. So, ow. But, yeah, like, they had all sorts of stuff there. Like, they had on display in the new photography building old projectors, old cameras, photos done by the students. I mean, it is fantastic. It truly is fantastic. But I hope if I do go, I'm hoping that it'll be hands-on straight up right off the bat. Because I've got prior experience with taking pictures. Taking them professionally is what I want to do, is what I would like to do. Because, frankly, I want to get my photography to that level and to that quality. But right now, at the present moment, I need to get better at my driving, because 500 miles over the course of 3 days is one thing. But that was with my grandmother. That was with Ellen. I honestly think the only reason I was even able to do that was because I was comfortable around her. She wasn't unintentionally rushing me. I think that's why I'm so nervous around my mom and my stepdad, is because whether they realize it or not, I think they're unintentionally rushing me while we're out driving. Yes, I get they have stuff they want to do, but the driving I've been doing these past 3 days, that's the kind that gets me comfortable driving. These short jaunts back and forth, 20, 30 miles, nah. If I'm going to drive, by God, I want to drive for long periods, because that would help me, I feel like, improve as far as driving goes. Because it's like they say, you'll only get better at driving by driving. That's why I want to drive these long, long distances. It's because the longer I drive, the better I might be able to get. I mean, so far, I've driven in places I thought I'd never drive on. I drove on I-20 day before we went to Tallulah Gorge. And I drove on it at about 70 for quite a ways. I've driven through construction on multiple 4-lane highways and interstates. And I've driven at night. Yesterday night was the first time I had driven at night. I ended up driving back from Gainesville until about Hull, where I had to swap. I told Ellen, we had to change drivers because I had gotten to the point where I was tired, and I just was losing concentration as a result. So, yeah. But all in all, I feel I did well. Am I ready? Do I feel like I'm ready for the driving test? Not quite. I feel like I'm close to ready, but not quite. I haven't driven by myself yet. That is the thing. I have not driven by myself on a main road. And I mean, therein is the problem. The only time I ever seem to have confidence while driving is when there's somebody in the car with me. I'm sure that's like that with everyone who started out driving. But with me, it's just simply, I just only seem to have confidence driving when there's someone there with me. The reason I say that, it's if I'm worried if I do end up driving solo, that confidence will go out the window, because there's no one there to help me out if I screw up. And that's the only way I've learned, I've learned how to drive with someone in the car with me. And heck, due to that, I'm not going to be able to take the driver's test at the DMV up here in Athens. I'm having to go all the way to Elberton. My mom is having to go out of her way to take me to the one up in Elberton when I'm ready, because that's the only one I know of where the instructor is actually in the car with you. Kevin, only time I've seen someone in my family driving 80 miles an hour is Ellen while we were driving to Cheyenne. That was the only time I've ever seen Ellen drive at 80 miles an hour, was on the interstate coming into Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's the only time I have ever seen in an interstate where the speed is 80 miles an hour. 70 around here, 70 is about the limit. 65 is technically minimum. The only thing I haven't been able to drive in yet is bad weather, like heavy rain. I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn how to drive in that. Now, if it's like what I ended up riding back through in Comer, no. That definitely, nobody could drive through that and make it home. There's no way. Because you can't see anything in front of you. Visibility ended up, like, this went earlier on when I was still learning how to drive. It was one of the times where Mom was with me. My mom was with me. We were using the Nissan truck, the red one that you've been seeing in a lot of these videos recently. And we had just finished offloading stuff at the dump in Comer. Or not Comer, Crawford. I think it was either Crawford or Commerce. I don't remember. Anyway, we were coming back and ended up encountering a storm. I thought, okay, it's just a bit of rain, not a problem. Get closer to Comer, the bottom literally fell out. And it fell out hard and fast. I mean, the rain was coming down so hard that you couldn't think straight, you couldn't see straight. Like, I had the headlights on, I had the windshield wipers on, couldn't see anything ahead of me. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. That was earlier in my driving, during my practice driving with the Nissan, so I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see the road, period, even though I was creeping. And there was even hail. There was small hail that was falling in that storm. And it got so bad that my mom told me to pull off. I ended up running off the road. I don't know where I ran off. Probably at like a gravel driveway. And she took over, and even she struggled. But we ended up getting home. Otherwise, well, you wouldn't be seeing all of what you've been seeing for the past few months. So, yeah, thank goodness for that. Yeah, Josh. But that was then, and like I think late 2019, early 2020. This is now. July of 2020. Currently, I'm still at a crossroads here. Like, I've got North Georgia Technical College's page up here regarding photography. But I'd need to go in. Like, if I wanted to go in without having to deal with like all the without having to deal with all the core classes, I'd have to go in for like a diploma program. And I haven't applied yet because of the fact I still need to drive. Like, that's the thing. The only way I'm going to be able to move forward, like going to tech, going to all these places, the only way I'd be able to move forward and do all of that and then do what I want to do in my spare time is by driving. I need to get the hang of that. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it. Like, yes, I can drive fairly decently. Everybody in my family knows it. I know it. But it's only when somebody's in the car with me. And that therein is the problem. My mom and them can't be in that dang truck every time I drive somewhere. Ellen has her own plans that she has to partake in. And well, I don't know about my dad because, well, he wrecked most of his cars. But I don't know. That's just it. I don't know. But like, here's an example of some of North Georgia Tech's students' work here. This is when their class went to Hemlock Falls. I think this is up in the mountains of North Georgia. This here is the kind of professional level photography that I want to be able to do. This is the kind of photography I want to try and move towards. It's not just nature photography. I'm just talking this level of professionalism in general. Toccoa Falls, my one picture that looks similar to this with the water is Toccoa Falls. That was in, I think, Series 3. I can show you it real quick. Yeah, this one here. And this was taken with my phone, all right? And I've noticed that I guess with the phone wearing out more, the camera has, I think, started to wear out. Or either that or it's been damaged from the phone getting too hot or something. I don't know, but this is the only photo that I could technically say would qualify as being towards, I guess, the bottom level of how being close to what theirs is like. But that's the thing. I've never photographed with manual settings in use. Like, there's a lot of unknowns. And I mean, the only other person I haven't driven with yet is my mom's mother, Mimi. And I really don't think she's been driven. I don't think she has been with me when I've practiced driving either. So really, if she wasn't busy, I could probably ask her one day if maybe, we could do like Ellen and I have ended up doing, where we swap vehicles and where she leaves hers here and we just take the red truck, and that's the primary vehicle we use for the driving. I mean, will I have to get a new car in the future? I mean, the answer to that is yes, because, like, for instance, say I wanted to go back up to Cass or Asheville. That truck only has a 4-cylinder engine, and just on the main 4-lane going up to, going up to, like, Tallulah Falls, Tallulah Gorge, Gainesville, even those 4-lane highways that lead up into the mountains, it required that thing to use a lot of power. And that truck isn't getting any younger. It's already 30 years old. So, I mean, sure, Mom and them got a good bit done to it to get it, road safe, yes, but could it go up? Would it be able to manage a long trip, like from here to Cass? That's 8 hours if I were to drive nonstop. Part of me thinks yes, it may, but the other side of me thinks no, because I haven't driven on the mountain roads. Like, the mountain road leading into Cass is not a highway. It's a 2-lane all the way. Sometimes going down to 1 lane when it comes to really sharp turns. Now, Ellen, growing up in Toccoa, knows how to drive in the mountains. She knows how to drive in the mountains straight up. But yesterday was my first time, so, and I'm amazed I did as decently as I did. I mean, there's still a few things that I need to improve on, which is trying to pull out which is being able to time when I can pull out, like, through intersections that don't have lights. That's where I get rattled. That and driving in really busy areas, like downtown settings. I've driven in downtown, the new area of downtown Watkinsville and parts of downtown Athens. I've driven on the bypass, driven on I-20. But if I wanted to get genuine experience, I'd probably have to drive on I-85 going in and out of Atlanta and in downtown Atlanta. Because it doesn't matter what time of day you go to Atlanta, it's going to be busy regardless. Same with Athens. If I wanted to get the hang of driving, it would probably have to be around Atlanta or downtown Athens. And besides, I need to drive on the bypass because that's high-speed roadway. It's busy. And I'm going to have to learn how to do it regardless. It's just I'm worried that if I were to do it with my mom, she'd be yelling at me. And the thing is with Ellen, you know, it's not like she doesn't rush me. That's the thing. It's like when Mom or Thomas is in there teaching me how to drive, they're I don't mean any offense to them, but it's almost like they assume I know everything. Like I know what speeds to go at. That isn't the case. Like it's almost like they assume that I should drive like they do. Well, the fact is simply this. Everybody drives differently. It doesn't matter how you get taught. It's what you do afterwards. I didn't want to be stuck filling out a bunch of dang paperwork regarding how to drive. The only way I've gotten as decent as I've gotten is by going out and doing it whenever I've been able to. Yes, early on with it just being sporadic, like a few days and then stopping for 5.5 months. Didn't help. It does not help. But I found where I'm able to do it and do it right, and that's doing it daily. Or maybe at least, at the very minimum, maybe once at the beginning and end of each week. Like say, maybe just drive for a full day, say Sunday. Maybe try and drive later on in the afternoon if there's time intermittently throughout the day, Monday through Friday, and then doing that whole full day's driving again on Saturday. It'd have to be planned out though, so if I were going to be with my mom, it'd have to be planned out in advance. That's the thing. It would have to be planned out well in advance. So, yeah. Yeah, I know, Kevin, but the thing is, I've got to get used to driving and in traffic. That's what gets me rattled. It's because there's like hundreds of other cars around you and you don't know what the other person's going to do. You can't predict what the other drivers are going to do. It's like my grandmother's driving instructor once said, drive like everybody else is trying to kill you, metaphorically. It's the same way. My Coach Tate, my driving instructor, said the same thing in high school. And really, it's just simply this. I mean, the only reason I've been able to get my confidence up back to the way it was earlier on is because I've been able to drive for 3 consecutive days straight and drive for pretty much the whole day, the entire day. In fact, yesterday was the first time I've actually ever driven at night from Gainesville pretty much back to Hull, back to Madison County. It wasn't easy. Everybody says driving at night's easier. No, it ain't. If it's your first time, it is not easy. And they say be alert driving during the day, but be twice as alert while driving at night. I've learned that. Because I could not see, period. Yes, I had my lights on. But it was hard to tell what things were far off. Like, I could have been seeing a truck, the back of a semi-truck, and I was thinking it was a red light. So, yeah, that says something. Now then, back to the video. Is it still? What the hell? What's all this? Update your drivers to export video. What? What's all this? Update drivers. Oh no. No. Why is this happening? Okay, system. Come on. Really? Ugh, this makes me mad. Well, this is ticking me off. Now I can't export the dang video because the drive is screwed up or something. You kidding me? Oh. Why is it saying the thing is... Okay, why is it not exporting? This thing is not exporting, and I don't know why. Trying to see if I'm going to restart the computer because I think I missed an update as for that it needed, so that might be why. Or not. Great. I need to get something to wipe this computer down. I'll be back. Yeah, for some reason, the video projects thing for my photos, the computer's photos thing, apparently it won't let me export the video. Something about a driver problem. I don't know why, but it's really annoying me. I'm hoping I could update the thing, but I don't know. It's not showing anything, any computer updates or system updates, so I don't know, but I need to get something to wipe the screen down. What? What is the thought? Yeah, if you're going to wipe your computer down, like the screen, what I personally would recommend doing, and you need to listen here, because if you don't do it right, you could end up destroying your computer. What I'd recommend doing about, for cleaning the screen is to get a rag, preferably a cloth rag, a clean cloth rag, and run it under water, just run it under some water, clean water, and wring it out. Wring all of the water out to where it's damp, but it's not dripping any water, okay? And when I mean wring it out, I mean like twist it to where you can see the water running out of it, to where it's not, until it's no longer dripping, but still, wet enough to clean something with. And if you run it over like the screen, the entire screen, the keyboard, and then it helps clean it. It actually washes all the gunk that gets on it off. And then go back over the keyboard and the screen and all with a dry cloth. And and dry and wipe all the water off with that. And believe me, as crazy as it sounds, I've done it and it actually works. It works better than using paper towels because, well, if you use paper towels, since wood's the main thing they use to make paper, well, that leaves streaks. This doesn't. So, but don't try it unless you don't know how to, if you don't know how to do it. I've just learned how to do this recently, fairly recently after I got the Acer. As you can see, that little wipe gun only cleaned up a bit, so you're going to get to see this firsthand. I'll be right back. I'd recommend using something kind of like this, but a lot smaller. Would be easier to, it's easier to wring the water out. Like, if you wet this type of cloth down, you twist it. You twist it like this, and you got to use all your strength. I normally do it like this. Like, you got to get the thing tight. Like, pretty much like, kind of like this tight here. To be able to get all the water out, but still leave it damp enough to use for cleaning and electronic with. So that way, because if you were to just, do it where it's still sopping wet, that water's going to get into the computer and ruin it. So you've got to wring it out. You've got to wring the water out before you wipe, like, whatever electronic you're going to clean down. And again, it works. As crazy as it sounds, it works. In fact, I would probably do it with the phone too, but I don't want to risk that because it's already on it's already ailing as it is. A simple wipe down with a dry cloth can clean this. So, in fact, that's what I'm going to do right now. So, hold on. Well, that just happened. Yeah, hold on. Welcome to the wash cycle. Already I can tell by looking at the thing. It actually looks a lot cleaner. Rip cam. Oh God. There we are. Okay, Gomez, what is up? Right. So since this is the primary one I've been rag that I've been using to dry stuff, this is the one I'm gonna go wet down. I'll be right back. Excuse me. Right, I'm back. And now, this thing is actually, well, it's damp. It's not wet. It's not sopping wet, but it is damp, as evident by this. Well, it'll be hard to see, but if I squeeze it, oh, well, there's your proof. There's your proof it's wet right there. And the key here is also, by the way, to always, if you're trying to clean electronics or wipe them down, always disconnect power and turn them off. Just like that. I just heard it turn off. It's in sleep mode, so what I am going to do is I'm going to go and hit that, and I'm actually going to shut it down. I'm going to shut the computer down completely before I wipe it down with this, so I have there's a less chance there's less of a chance of me getting fried. So yeah, because the other reason I have to wipe it down is because when I talk, whether I don't intend for it to happen, but whenever I talk, it's like spit gets like launched at the screen. I don't intend for it to happen. I know everybody who has a computer has this problem, but that's why I wipe it down. Well, I needed to put that in. I just need to do this. Sleep. For God's sakes. Normally, I wipe the keyboard down along with the computer screen, but in sleep mode, that hit causes the computer to be active again. In this case, now it's not. So, what I'm going to do is I'll switch the camera around and you can see me how I clean this thing. Okay, so there's the Acer. It's not going to show up on camera, but it's got fingerprints and all sorts of particles all over the screen from just months of use. So, and I normally do this with the keyboard as well, but you don't want to do streaks of like this. And you can see how there is moisture getting on the screen. That's the level that's technically okay. And I do it I mean, you can do this any other way, like how you wash it, but you can do this like any way you can think of. If there's anything that blows off, that falls off the rag, just blow it off. I'd probably do this, like I'd fold it up, probably a lot more decently than that, and just do this. Because as you can see, the rag, due to this rag's age, it's falling apart, so there's a lot of lint. So you're just going to want to try and brush that off, or try and, wipe it off as gently as you can without scratching the screen. And what I'm doing here is I'm wiping down the front of the keyboard part, which has the mouse pad. Now the mouse pad doesn't work on this computer, so I don't have to worry about that affecting anything. Now the keyboard. Now this is going to pretty much activate the computer, but I just lightly brush it. I normally, see, it turned it on, so that's where you stop and just try and wipe it. Just wipe it down. This is the dry towel now. That's what this is. This is dry. Just lightly wipe it off like this. And the screen, wipe down more than once to make sure you get all the moisture off. I try to make a habit of doing this whenever the screen gets to where I'm having trouble seeing what's on it. I even do the webcam, even though it's iffy as far as whether or not and I even wipe the web and clean the webcam thing, even though it's an iffy regarding whether or not it works. See, here's why I say wipe the lint off, because see, some lint has gotten caught towards the top of the screen. There's really no way to get that out easily. And see, now I'm having to just do this. As you can tell, there's already an issue, because the lint from these things has now gotten caught between the actual screen and the frame. Now that's an issue. Now what I'm going to do real quick before I try and move any further with this is I'm going to shut the computer down completely. I don't want to risk damaging something or getting myself fried because I might have to try. There we go. Now it's shut down. This is not going to be advised. That ain't going to work. Now here's the dilemma. That got caught pretty much at a point where I can't remove it. Okay, well there it goes. Just after a few minutes of toiling, there's the lint. Yeah, I wasn't trying to break the screen. I wasn't trying to break the screen. I was trying to use this to try and get that lint out. Now, it grazed it, but it didn't break it. Scratch is one thing. Something else is another. So basically with this, just what I'm going to do real quick now, because of the lint problem, is I'm going to try and do this and fold the outside edges inward to try and prevent that from happening. There's still going to be lint, yes, but there won't be as much. So basically, if you're going to wet a towel down like this, as you can see, it's drying out. So if I'm going to have to go over another pass to wipe all that streaking off. So just do it like this, but now just do it a lot slower. Because it also gives you a chance to go back and double check to make sure everything is, clean. And, if you have to go over it again, do it again. Now, see, that is moist enough to where now I can go back through and just wipe it off like this. Now, I'd wipe it down quite a few times. Doesn't matter how you do it, you just need to wipe it off and make sure it's clean. And like that, as you can now see, the screen has no streaks on it whatsoever. None. And since I was only using this for drying, I could keep this, but I'm borrowing these rags, so they're both going downstairs to be rewashed. So I'm just going to hit that, reconnect the power. That's obviously something that needs to be done. Gonna reconnect the power. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Now then. Oh, look, you can see the pixels. Yeah, it's gotten to that point now while I restarted it. So I figured I'd clean it and show y'all how I normally do it. And also pixels. And a finger. But welcome to Pixel Central. As you can see, that's just steaming all that updating. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this again, which is trying to get the that video exported again. That wouldn't work anyway because the internet's disconnected, which in this case, I have to reconnect it manually. But don't bother asking for the password. Not giving it, sorry. To X out of that. Restart Steam, restart this. So, yeah. Gonna put my USB there back in my mug, and there we go. Right now, as you can tell, oh, there it goes. Thank God. Make sure everything is in order. Okay, good. Good. Let's see if I can even export this again. I doubt it. Because it seems like it said something about a drive being broken, and that's what I'm worried about now. But real quick, this should give me a chance to check out this, because I was going to try and do something regarding Stormworks fairly soon. And I wanted to see if there's any new ships. This looks cool as all get out. That's just the grump. That's not Grumpy Cat. That's Grumpy Fallout Cat. Not Cat. Jesus Christ. It's the no face, but it's on the Fallout guy. Why do I feel like that would just fit regarding just people's attitude towards nuclear war? Oh yes, there's this monster car ferry. Exactly. Considering I've seen one of these things on its side, I would say yes, it could. It potentially could sink if you were to just deliberately load it wrong. I'm sure it would sink. Wow. Okay. Normal, right? Yeah, I ended up I think I just broke it. Whoops. Well, there's a problem. I mean, the thing is, this thing could still work. It's just got a crack in it, right in the center. No, it's because I ended up accidentally breaking it. That's fine. Yeah, I'm worried about this. It's saying something about a driver being broken. I don't know why. But I'll probably just work on the videos off camera. And if I can't get them to work on this, then I'll just work on them in Power Director. So I'm going to end this stream so I can move over to Stormworks. And I'll see you later.